Hey, welcome friends. This video is going to be about the 7 chakras and the 7 sins or missing the mark, the 7 places you can miss the mark associated with the 7 chakras, as well as the 7 graces or what's going to save you, as well as some emotional and physical issues that they cause when they're blocked. Okay, now before I get started, I would like to point out I get several comments like this. So I feel the need that maybe if I address it, maybe it'll happen less. I'm not sure. But 4 days ago, I received a comment that said, I want to rip out your dollar store microphone out of your Windows 98 gateway computer and strangle you with it. JK, just please help someone just please find someone who can help you with your recording levels and buffering your teeth whistling and sound burst, making your recordings easier to listen to. I laughed. It was so funny when I read this message because true enough, it's a 90s computer, not a gateway, it's a Dell. Dollar store microphone. True enough, it is probably like $1.99, and it's all taped up. And every time that I move, it crinkles and whistles and pops, and the levels go in and out. So, I'm aware of this. I'm well aware of this, Dean. Hi, there's Dean, everybody. And And I do apologize that many of my videos are audibly challenged, okay? But what I want to say is anyone who has an issue with the audio, I will tell you, just like I said to Dean, because he felt the need to leave such a comment. Links are listed in the description box. And honestly, necessities for me are food, medication, housing, utilities. I live hundreds of dollars below Pennsylvania's social or poverty level. I live on Social Security. So basically, these are my necessities, and a new computer would be awesome. Or even like a $20 microphone. But at this time, this is what everybody's getting. So if you're out there watching Dean the Dream, again, links are in the description box, and I guess help out, and the audio will get better sooner than later. And with that being said, the channel is very small. It's just myself. It's just me. There's only 600 subscribers. So any help is greatly needed and appreciated. So the links for Patreon and PayPal are listed below. I'd most appreciate help in paving the path to a door towards life, love, and light for everyone. All right, I listened to the recording, and I can hear that it's not so great. So I'm going to try to not move whatsoever and hold this microphone at exactly one spot so that I don't blow people's ears out. Okay. The 7 demons that possessed Mary Magdalene are the exact same demons that we all have. These demons are the 7 faces of the ego. Each one of them is specific to an area in our life and related to a specific chakra. And by the way, the chakras appear in all world religions. I've found them in Sumerian text, in the Jewish text, in the Indian text, in the Vedas, in the Quran. It's all the same story, just different actors. However, since higher states of awareness are only possible when we overcome the ego and understand its sneaky influence on our minds, Healing at the core is absolutely necessary. The more that we get rid of the ego, which stands in between us and the world, in between us and pure cosmic consciousness, the stronger that our own healing capacities become, and then the more light can flow through us and thus spread outward into the world and allow others to heal themselves. This should all be about you finding your core issues, healing and curing yourself, and then your fruit will be seen and other people will see it, and then they will replicate it. Now, I find this very, very necessary to put this video out because many, actually the bulk of people who are practicing these meditations and the sacred secretion and enlightenment, everybody's coming and thinking that they can like dip their toe in the water and then become miraculously and it's all great and awesome. There's a lot of stuff to go through. This isn't an easy process, and it's not something just to try to dip in or dabble in. You're going to hurt yourself is what's going to happen. So I feel it necessary to put out this video, and I don't mean to be like, I don't want to come off bitchy, but I have to say, chakra work only works when we go to the root of all of our issues, the root chakra first. If we half our way through the chakras with some color visualizations, some mantras, lums, rams, eating the foods, wearing the colors, doing this like little ritual thing certain times a month, it's gonna work. It's gonna work a little bit. It's gonna bring you short-term effects, but it's never ever gonna get down to the root cause, because that would take away the lessons that we're supposed to learn by overcoming our challenges. It's what gives us strength, fortitude, tenacity, the will to continue to go on. That's the thine will be done, that divine will, not our will, like, opposite kind of will. But I just feel it really necessary to go through these and let people know that it's not all rose blossoms and awesomeness. And if that's what you're experiencing and it's like, yay, and you're not having any hard times, I'm sorry, I don't want to bust your bubble and be Debbie Downer, but you're not doing it properly. You've been deceived by your own, probably your own ego. It happens to me every day. So I'm just saying that please be aware. When Kundalini energy or your Christ oil, the fire, the Holy Spirit fire, chi, whatever you want to call it, when it is released, it is not, I repeat, it is not all fairies, lights, and feathers. Not all singing and laughter and flowers and love and la. It is like that. It is at times. This requires facing our demons head on in amplified measures, not just at a time or one time and then that's it and it's over. It's all of them together, all of the things that are like eating at you, your worst sins in quotation marks, missing the mark. Everything comes flooding at once. It really is like demon slaying on a battlefield. Instability, feelings of instability, amplified anxiety, amplified relationship troubles, amplified indecision, amplified Issues of willpower, yeah, amplified. Issues of speaking up and speaking your truth no matter who thinks what, yeah, amplified. Um, Intuition, wow, amplified, but alternating with confusion, back and forth. Spiritual connection, amplified, but also alternating with sudden feeling of totally being completely lost again. Do you know that I was sitting here this Christos time. Anybody who knows my last Christos experience, wow, like I was waking up and like knew things that were going to happen the next day and just flooded with butterflies, rainbows, and awesomeness. And this time I'm sitting here, I'm like in the 8th day or something of it, and I thought, I heard this voice in my head and it said, Kath, not too spiritually fun this Christos season, is it? And immediately I spoke out loud and said, hey, don't call me Kath, and I know who you are. Don't bring me down. I know exactly what's happening, and you're the voice of ego or Satan. Don't bring me down now. I know that last time was great, and this time I'm dealing with a lot of emotional heart chakra, a lot of emotional stuff going on, as well as physical stuff. So it crept up on me because last month, butterflies, rainbows. This month, what? Pandora's box. In my journey, which has been just very quick, I mean, I just began my journey, but opening of the Pandora's box included demons that I previously had no idea were even there, fears that were well hidden, and false conceptions about life and what my personal purpose was, which seems to be changing constantly, by the way. Um, and it was all exposed in the blink of an eye. This metamorphosis or shedding of layers, it's constantly taking me out of my mind and into the now. But in order to live in the world, it's not the easiest thing to accept, and let alone explain to anyone, because like once I started talking about challenges and experiences, people simply don't believe me and look at me and think that I'm crazy. But I don't care, because I'm not. I'm just actually hyper aware of many things. Hyper aware of energies, thoughts. My own issues are amplified. Other people's issues are amplified. Their thoughts, their troubles, their emotions, the collective consciousness on a large scale, and energetic shifts. Like totally being aware of all of it, and it's not all fuzzy and warm. Our chakras, or energy portals, are like organs themselves. They can become strong or weak depending on how they're treated and cared for, because the chakras govern our emotional and our mental state as it relates to the body and the spirit. And they can also contribute to how we create a vibrational match to the experiences we undergo every waking moment of our lives. We need to remember that our thoughts alone do nothing to manifest reality. It is the energy generated by the emotional availability and direction of that energy that creates reality. And as I say a lot, you're not here to learn how to manifest. We are always manifesting at all times, good and bad. We're here to learn how to consciously get our manifestations under our own control. All right, we will start at the root chakra, because that's where we all need to start. And this is actually a reoccurring thing. It just continues to happen over and over and over again. But in the beginning, you have to get a few things down so that you can progress. Your root chakra is the primal survival instinct, your groundedness, sturdiness, security, safety, your feeling of safety, practical skills, stress management, and physical slash mental endurance. Now, sin or missing the mark, or what damages the chakra, or what damages this energy portal and closes it, only lets a little bit, of the energy get out, is gluttony, overindulgence, self medication, physical or emotional hoarding, preoccupation with prevention and preparation, feeling a void, and filling the void with food and or extreme self-imposed limitations such as fasting, extreme fasting, or thinking that you have to give away absolutely everything that you own, things like that. Ungroundedness and lack of survival skills lead to excessive behavior and victimhood feelings. Always, always the victim. Now, your grace, or what saves you, or what balances it, your energy portal, is temperance. And just like the tarot card, temperance is all about moderation. Everything in moderation, and your ability to use self restraint. This is not to be confused with self denial, like I touched on a second, extreme self denial. Temperance is very much the understanding of observing and maintaining conscious control of baser emotions that may prompt us to take excessive action, to behave from a place of victimhood, woundedness, defensiveness, and always fear. Fear is always at the root of all seven of these, all of the negative aspects of every one of the seven that we're going to go through. The root of it is always fear. It's always being scared or being in fear of something. Your sacral chakra is the nurturing family, um, herd, or collective intelligence. Your sexuality, it does have to, of course, it has to do with sexual intercourse, because that's how you procreate and make children and multiply. But more so, it's about your own sexuality, intimacy, procreation, creation, manifestation. What damages it is lust, escapism, thrill seeking that gambles with the affairs of others and yourself, extremely poor impulse control, self sabotage, dependence on high stakes, and loving drama. Loving drama. If you love drama and it doesn't give you kind of like an ill feeling, uh, that means that you have a blockage there. Not good. Obsession or refusal of your own sexuality, whatever it is. Lusts high in all affairs, everything, like just loving absolutely every physical, um, uh, tangible thing, and some emotional things. But um, it's a warning and a habit of getting lost in the pursuit of the thrill with no substance, no end game, just liking to play the game, I guess. Um, and the caution against becoming unconsciously addicted to the transient and transitory exchanges. Now, grace, what balances it, is chastity. Chastity is often seen as a consistent and ongoing self-denial or virginhood, which is actually a connotation brought from its induction into the sin slash grace system. Chastity itself is not about a lifestyle or lifelong commitment of any kind. Chastity itself originally referred to the restraint in the interest of cleansing and clearing. In essence, chastity is the choice to build healthy habits, and periodically purify oneself. Um, Choice to fast periodically, to purify oneself. Restraint is important to build healthy habits, whether it's a relationship with food, sex, technology, uh, hobbies, uh, uh, being too stringent, anal retentive. I have a problem with that. Too planned out and too stringent. Um, The grace of chastity teaches us about the need to periodically withdraw from habitual and compulsive behavioral patterns and recenter and reprogram our reward centers and realign us with the spirit and what we're trying to accomplish. Next is your solar chakra, which is your will, the energy center of influence, adaptability, versatility, determination, potency, strength behind our energy as it's projected into the previous creation and manifestation. The center of courage and readiness to take right, correct, righteous action and overcome obstacles and adversities. What blocks it and damages it? Being slothful, undisciplined, lazy, unimaginative. Now, that just doesn't mean physically, that means in all realms. Having no desire to take one's own life into their own hands, waiting for some super messiah or something, or just going along with what everybody else says. We're supposed to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. Having no desire to take one's life into their own hands, difference and denial of personal responsibility, that's really big. Like, and that happens every day as well. I find myself, again, it's just like, you you come across something and somebody says, hey, this, and you're like, oh, no, no. And it's like, oh, wait, yes, yes. So, always a struggle, but we can get through it. Sloth can also speak to an imbalance in the chakra, too much, which facilitates the individual being too available to discouragement, fear, and insecurities as well. And your grace, or what balances it? Diligence. Your due diligence. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door will be open. Which means that it's action. You have to do your own due diligence. The virtue of diligence is the ability to find the power and motivation to see all undertakings through in spite of the challenges or discouragement. Not going to all be butterflies and rainbows. However, there are butterflies and rainbows. Diligence is not only commitment, but it's also the ability to honor one's experience, even in a situation that's disheartening because of the obstacles or problems that need solving. Can't just run away and hide. That's not going to work either. Diligence is the beginning of durability and the capacity to find and use one's own power through one's own unique expression. Express yourself. And the heart chakra, emotionality, relationships, connection, and self-love, and the unity of higher and lower energies in the physical form. The connective, unconditional love with spirit and earth, reciprocating exchanges of energy with the divine in physical form. Now, the heart is like the meeting place of the as above and so below. It's very, very important. And to me, it's like like the root chakra. The heart chakra consistently just keeps coming up over and over again, with each new renewal or layer that's like that I'm shedding off, or I can't really explain it. But I've been dealing a lot with the heart chakra. Um, the sin or what damages it: envy, lack or loss of empathy, resentment of others, happiness, judgmentalism, damaged self esteem, inability to sympathize, connect, or trust, denial or refusal of fairness and equality of all people in all circumstances. That's what I've been dealing with. I thought I was all good, and then all of a sudden a big wave came over me this past week, and even though they'll not watch this, I want to say publicly out there, I am sorry to every person that I ever harmed, intentionally or unintentionally. Um, I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Um, Projecting old issues onto new people and situations, I guess kind of like I just did, right? Like you guys are new, and I even said it, subconscious popped out and said, you're not going to see this, but it'll make me feel better if I mean, I've done it internally. I don't know, I feel like I needed to do it out loud, so I've done it. Grace, compassion, 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 love, compassion, understanding, forgiveness. Uh, to be able to feel another and have love for their happiness is the ultimate joy. Their love is your love, and vice versa. I am you, you are me. First universal law is universal law of oneness. We're all the same, everything. We're all the same. We all come from uh, the same light. To have compassion and happiness for one another helps us to vibrate and emit that within our own personal spheres of energetic space. It's the bear of emotional availability, which is an essential element in the manifestation and attraction of any experience. If you ground everything in love, compassion, understanding, righteousness, fairness, weigh things properly, because everyone's different. Everyone thinks differently. Everyone's been brought up differently. Everyone has different things. So we must weigh every person and every situation differently. As long as we ground ourselves in love, understanding, and compassion, and put ourselves in the other person's shoes or the other life's shoes, we have no choice but to shoot to the top. I promise you that. On to the throat chakra, all about communication and comprehension. Speaking your truth and comprehending other people's communication. The sending of intention forth into being through words and expression of art. Kind of like I did here with the cat, since my name's Kathy, and this cat is speaking its truth on a way more expensive microphone than Kathy's using right now. But nonetheless, kitty cat speaking its truth, and Kathy, I'm speaking my truth. The capacity to articulate oneself and dictate preferential reality and experience. Like I just said earlier, weighing everything, every situation and every person, every experience needs to be weighed appropriately. Everything is different. Multangular type of view is what you need to take on things. Sin, or what damages, missing the mark, wrath, anger, outwardly destructive behavior with words and action, deception through your words, abuse through your words, inability to be conscious of emotional shifts, inability to manage your temper, belligerence, self-righteousness, preoccupation with negative reinforcement. Grace, patience. Patience is definitely an awesome virtue. It's very, very helpful. It helps you be at peace. I can tell you that much. Patience brings peace. Where anger blinds and deafens, patience heightens the senses. With patience, we see more dimensions of any given situation and deliver faster and more effective and efficient solutions to problems and obstacles. Patience teaches us to bend, go with the flow, ride the wave, as opposite to snap. Remember, manifestation is equally active and passive, whether it's bubbling on the inside or erupting on the outside. It's still playing a part in what manifests in that experience. Warning: if you haven't been listening to the rest of the video and you did not do those steps and you're not working on all of those things and not balanced all of those, warning, warning. Stop right now. Stop, warning, stop. Go back, wash, rinse, repeat, go back, wash, rinse, repeat, go back, wash, rinse, repeat. The third eye chakra, the true sight and witness of the world, lower astral psychic and intuitive abilities, the potential to receive and perceive complex and vivid energy forms. Also, I should have added in there, you become like, you do know truth from lies. You do know truth from lies if you're doing it properly. The sin, or what damages it: greed, obsession with power or knowledge, or to set yourself on high, or to know more or be more woke than other people. The desire to have and withhold what you know and not want to share with others. That's spiritual things, emotional things, as well as physical help. The exploitation of the truth, or what you perceive as truth and what will help others, and knowledge for excessive material and or egocentric gain. You'll never see the ARC channel. I'm sorry, but I will not be making t-shirts. No matter how large the channel ever gets, I will not have merch. So, yeah. Excessive material and egocentric gain, abuse of personal and spiritual advantages, and that's really, really big, and I can't even get into that in depth. Grace, what's going to save you or balance you out. Charity, we must learn that status, putting yourself on high, and material gain is not a measure of true value. Charity in the form of service and gift giving are expressions of love, language, and give a greater sense of understanding, true prosperity, and fulfillment, more so than simple acquisition ever will. Now, again, I want to say that this is a very, do not open your third eye or attempt to go and do this until you have balanced and you have got a firm foundation with that root chakra, and you've got a good handle on the rest of them. Do not open up the third eye, because again, not all butterflies and niceness. Opening your third eye is opening yourself to knowledge. Knowledge is power, but with power comes great responsibility. So again, I urge people, if you are not ready to open the third eye, please do not. You are going to get caught up and in a cycle, a vicious cycle that's very, very difficult to get out of. Is the earth a globe or is it flat? Well, who really cares? Root races, who cares? Which religion was for, who cares? I mean, if you want to stay in wormholes, your third eye will certainly keep you there for as long as you please. Um, Perpetually, you'll just be given new things, and if that's all you're operating on is knowledge and more knowledge and more knowledge, or then you're gonna get bit. Many religious people and people who are delving into spirituality, um, their third eye is open and they're not even aware of it. When I hear stories of seeing the devil with, fire and brimstone, and like I've heard some religious people say, "Oh yeah, I opened my third eye and I saw the devil." Well, here's what I'm going to say. You have you have some issues to deal with in those lower chakras that never got dealt with, i.e., the root chakra, fear. If you see demons, devils, um, evil images, you are wrapped up in absolute fear, perpetual fear, and you need to get out of that. I've never, ever in my whole life, even at my worst times, and when I was extremely religious, I never ever had dreams or anything of demons and hell and this and that. Um, I don't know, but definitely you will see these things. You definitely will be visited by these things, and it's meant to tell you, scare you off, and make you get kicked back down to the bottom to work on your stuff, is what it's meant to be. It's not evil. Your third eye is not evil, but yeah, like it doesn't pick and choose. It'll give you all the butterflies and flowers and knowledge and great stuff, but it's also going to give you this if you haven't cleaned that out of yourself yet. This is also why religious people are stuck in religious delusions and thinking that they're one of the 144,000, or that a literal entity is going to fly out of the clouds and scoop them up. And I mean, that's exactly what's happening. Their third eye is open, but all of the rest of the stuff is blocked off. It's very, 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 very dangerous. The third eye, most responsible for delusions, delusions of grandeur, and religious delusions, as well as alien takeovers and all of this craziness that people get wrapped up in. Like I said, they're wormholes. You'll get stuck in there if you're not careful. Which leads us to the crown chakra, which is the connection to our higher selves, the receiver, the antenna, the top of the antenna of insight and spiritual guidance, that which channels universal or divine energy, from which we all are little pieces of, refracted pieces of universal energy into the physical form, higher astral, psychic, and intuitive abilities. And what damages it? Again, like I said, if you haven't done the work from the root all the way up, and you're just swimming in the third eye area, that snake has bit you, and this is what happens. Uh, uh, Probably, I'd say, on a very, very high percentage. Pride, vainglory, to ignore, deflect, or resist higher guidance, or like, nope, that's it. I know it. I'm right. Like, not being open to anyone else's interpretation, not looking through a different lens, only your lens. That's it. The worship of ego, like I said earlier, your third eye's open. You're getting all this information, this and that. Things are synchronicities. Things are lining up, and you're like, I am the man. I am the woman. I am it. Um, Selective hearing, not having ears to hear, only hearing your own ego voice. Dogmas, religious dogmas. I just went on incessively about that. Control issues, attachment to conditioning, that what we've been spoon-fed our whole life, afraid to bust out of the proverbial shell. Narrow-mindedness and inability to expand perspective, impaired connection to the spirit. What helps us out? Humility. I suggest that every day, a couple of times a day, at least once a day, you scream out and ask all powers that be to let you remain at the most humble level. All the most humility. The most humility that you can possess in human form and fashion, because that, along with love, is going to take you to heights, and you'll be okay. You will be okay. Acceptance and embracing the opportunity for growth means accepting where we are in our growth and where everyone around us is in their growth as well. Everyone operates at different vibrations, frequencies, time. Everyone processes things different at different times, levels. Humility and humbleness opens our minds to new information and direction from spirit that allows us to flourish with the escape and expansion of our control and our comfort zones. Not my will be done, but thine will. Divine will. Thine will, divine will. I'm only going to lightly touch on it, but the additional 2 chakras in the Incan wisdom tradition, the 8th is the soul chakra, which is located a few inches above the top of our heads. And this is where we experience union with all of creation and the infinite creator. Divine consciousness, God, whatever name that you want to give it. I don't really think that we should give it a name. When this chakra is clogged, we will find ourselves caught between spirit and flesh, or spirit and matter, feeling disassociated and disconnected from all. Etched in this chakra are the imprints of trauma that we bring with us from one lifetime or reincarnation into another. These imprints help select the parents that we're born through and predispose us to our living conditions, our learning, aging, and dying in a particular way. When clear, we forgive our past and transcend through this chakra to spirit. And the vibration of that color is gold, like, I said like a radiant sun, but in this picture doesn't really, I have a different image in my head. And the 9th chakra is the spirit chakra, located in the heart of the multiverse, universe, all that is outside of time and space. Always crystalline, always pure. This is where we can experience the magnificent expanse of creation and all that is and all that will be created. This is where we reside with God. I don't like the term, but you get where I'm going. To reach this area, we ascend through the silver cord of light, or energy, that rises up from the 8th chakra. There is only one 9th chakra, and I wrote that because the next video I do, each one of the 1 through 8 chakras, they go just like the Bible says that Jesus sent the disciples out 2 by 2s. Each one of the first 8 chakra, there's a match that they balance each other. But as for the 9th chakra, there's only one, because there's only one of us. Like I said, universal law of oneness. We're all one in spirit. It's the all and the infinite, the one that we all are, the all. And the vibration is translucent white, from which all of the other vibrant colors come forth. I offer you all love, knowledge, double portions of wisdom for all of the knowledge, and much strength in healing yourself. Please leave comments in the comment section below. I'm happy to help anybody that, if I can. More than likely you'll end up helping me at the same time. Love you guys. Until next time.